Every team has a team they don't beat very often. Yours is the one you played tonight, 7 in a row. Does it somehow go from X's and O's to something up here, or what makes a streak last that long?
Good question. I wasn't here for all those games, so it's hard for me to answer for that. I think I'll go just to this year. I thought we played a competitive game under some different circumstances. In Minnesota there, I thought we, 35 minutes into the game, I looked up at the shot clock. We'd given up 13 shots against in that situation. They're a good team. They're going to test us and challenge us, and we're going to be ready for them tonight. And
you get them 3 times here in
short order. Yeah.
Short order.
Yeah.
In terms of breaking something like that, better to play them a whole bunch in a short period of time?
Well, the interesting thing for us is, and we've played it, they've played some since our last game. We've played some since our last game, but it's almost, like a small playoff series, because it's about finding ways to adjust, finding ways you were able to have some success, or areas of the game where you liked, while making some adjustments and tightening up some of the areas you didn't like.
Jay, over the stretch of this losing streak against the Wild, the Oilers and the Wild have the exact same amount of wins in the league. Like, very even teams. Against all the other teams, you got a really good above 500 points percentage, and then the Wild are like an anomaly. You've coached a long time. Yeah. Are there some matchups that are just can't explain why a team struggles for whatever reason against a certain team?
Yeah, hard for me to answer. I'm going to give you the same answer I gave Mark, which was hard for me to answer for that. I wasn't here for all those games, so it's hard for me to answer to that. What I see before us tonight is a great challenge. I see a well-coached team. I see a well-put-together team. They do a lot of things well, so we better be on our toes to take on a good team tonight.
The one area where the team before you, with you, has struggled against them specific is 5-on-5 scoring. They've really dominated there. So what did your team, you talked about?
Take your word for it, Jason.
Okay. It's 28-11, but anyway. Your team, 5-on-5 play, you've talked about it a lot. It wasn't where you've wanted it to be all year. It's getting better in cases. Where is the biggest improvement you've seen lately in your group 5-on-5?
5-on-5, I think if you went to expected goals for in the league, you'd see us right kind of at the top. Our shooting percentage hasn't been where we've wanted it to be, which comes down to finishability or finishing and that type of thing. I think last game was a real positive step forward in that direction from some different people. So I think where I see improvement there. I think we're doing some things defensively in the last 7 games, so to speak, despite missing a lot of key pieces to our forward group, that is allowing us to have chances to win games. In those 7 games, last 7 games, we lost 1 by 1 goal here at home, and we lost the Minnesota game in Minnesota. But again, I go back to the fact that I thought that was a winnable hockey game for us.
Let's talk about finish, and maybe finish or lack thereof from a guy that you're hoping to get some. And to his, you obviously saw Specs' piece. I know you sort of addressed it the other day. Are there things, a coach can do to when a guy's struggling like that? Are there things a coach can do to breed offensive confidence in a player?
We're talking Yessi here? Yeah. I think, the big thing for Yessi, he'd rather his numbers be a little bit higher. I think if you looked at his shooting percentage, it's probably well below what his career average is and well below where he wants it to be. I think you earn the right to feel confident, and that happens on the practice surface. He's working really hard there. I think he's spending extra time in the video room. He's revisiting where he's had some success in the past, and the big thing is he should know that he has the belief and confidence of his coaching staff and of his teammates. And I know that if he keeps doing good things and going to hard areas, that he will be rewarded for it.
Does your team look different with Cotter's got a couple games in? Do you see what, are you seeing a little bit different team further down the lineup with him back in?
Yeah, I think what happens when you start returning players like Hyman coming back into the lineup or Yamamoto, what it does is it kind of slots people in the positions that they should be in. We're still missing some guys, but I like the people that we have because they're making it competitive to get into our lineup. For Yamo specifically, I thought his best game of the year prior to his injury was the last game he played in Tampa. I thought he played very well that night. And, you know, unfortunately he got hurt and he was out for over a month, but he's come back in. He's played with a level of tenaciousness and physicality that we need. And, you know, him coming back in the lineup, like I said, it slots everybody else kind of in proper position.
With McDavid and Draisaitl together, it's been a good run of games here. Is it still to do with players that are missing and the lineup, or are you liking what you're seeing there and it's more about because it's working?
Well, I think what drives coaching decisions is what's going to help us win on that night. And, you know, when we put them together in Madison Square Garden there, we were looking for a little bit of a spark. The teams has found ways to win games despite tough circumstances, and they've played well. So, you know, we reserve the right to move our chess pieces around the board. But, you know, they've done a lot of really good things. And obviously when they play together, it is special.
How much does Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' overall game kind of allow you with a little bit more play those guys together?
Yeah, I don't think you can do that unless Ryan's playing at the level that he's played at. Almost similar to, you know, we started the year with the spine theory of Connor, Leon, and Nuge playing on different lines, but Ryan McLeod played pretty well right off the bat. That allowed us to move Nuge to the wing and all that kind of stuff. I think when you have a bunch of good players, it allows you to have some flexibility to your lineup. And certainly playing Connor and Leon together, we do that because Nuge is playing at the level that he's playing at.
Jay, you mentioned expected goals earlier as a team, and as an individual, Kailer Yamamoto obviously is looking for his first goal. His shots are down this year. When you talk to players, like, it seems simple to just say, well, shoot the puck more, but what leads to getting more shots, do you think, for a guy like Yamamoto?
I think positioning, where you're finding yourself on the ice. I think it's also, you know, if you haven't had the success that you want to have, there is a clear area on the ice where majority of goals are scored. So I think getting to that area is important. I think if you look at Kyler's last two games, his first shift, I think in his first game back, he went hard to the post. He didn't score, but it was a great opportunity. I looked at his breakaway that he had shorthanded last game against Arizona. Didn't go in for him. It will. He's got to continue to go to hard areas to score. He's got to continue to be a shooter in his mind first. And if he does, he'll have success. It's just like Jesse's shooting percentage. It will get to, it will normalize over the course of a year.
And Warren Foegele on the ice, how close do you think, would he be available for you on the short 2-game road trip, do you think?
I can tell you just, this is a personal thing for me. My injury prognostication is not very good, but I thought it was a good sign that he was on the ice for us today. I think it's a step forward for him, and it's, you know, it's positive, and it's not only good for him to be around his teammates in that situation, but it's good for his teammates to see him as well. He's a popular teammate.
Jay, what are you seeing from that Broberg-Bouchard pairing that's given you confidence to leave them together for as long as you have here?
Yeah, I think the most important thing, it just goes back to my answer with Ryan, is that the team has played well since they've been put together.
So do you find that Bouchard, like, a lot was made in the back half of the year that he got to play with Duncan Keith as a veteran guy? He's the leader or the older player of that pairing. How have you found maybe either his experience with Keith, or do you find that he's kind of been the more elder statesman of that guy and is kind of leading that pair in a way?
No, I don't see it like that. Yeah. Good. Thanks, guys.